Go live. Go live. Go live. Go live. I'm going live. Go live. Hello. Welcome back. It's been a week since we've been here drawing together. It's great to have you here. There are already 11 of you. Thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. How has the year been so far? Hi, Eliza is here. Let me know in the chat where you're joining from. What you're going to be working with today. What am I going to work with today? I have really amazing mugshots for us to work from, and I haven't decided yet what medium I'm going to use. I was hoping my kids would be asleep, like that they would have already been asleep for an hour, but only one of them is, and two of them are still awake. So I've been working at them, trying to get them to sleep. And now they're cuddling together in bed, and I hope that they're going to sleep really well. Hi, Eliza, Tamara, Christina, Andrea. Yeah, so nice having you here. I'm in central Germany, and that's where I am at. The Bay Area, Newport Beach, Philly. Yeah, we're going to do 10-minute portraits of incredible charcoal. Charcoal's so messy. Charcoal. And where did I put it? I did a charcoal piece a couple of weeks ago when I was drawing Claire. If I do charcoal, everything I touch is going to get charcoal in it. So it will probably look really cool. Maybe I'll save it for like the last piece. Maybe I'll do the last piece in charcoal. One idea that I had was that I could start with this pen, do like a really simple kind of minimal drawing, and then start putting some brushwork and maybe some calligraphy pen on top of it. So I'll move over to my workspace, but I'm still undecided. I kind of have all of my materials here, and if you want to weigh in on what I should do, let me know in the chat now what material I should use. I did find my charcoal, but the last time I used it, everything got black. And we want to be sketching here for 2 hours, so I'm not sure if it's the medium for the day. Oh, my camera is really long here. What's going on? This is kind of a new setup. I've got my new webcam over here, and I'm just gonna make myself a little, and I've got my good camera over here, and we're going to draw together. Oh, and here we go. Shannon Hagen is waiting to get into Zoom. That's cool. Because there was some unwelcome bots making a lot of noise and doing unpleasant things last time. I have put an extra step into joining us in Zoom. Those of you who already know how to join Zoom, you can just do that. Get in on Zoom, but you can have a look down in the description below this, and you'll find your way. But now there's an extra step, but you're all human and very clever, and so I think you'll be able to find your way. There are now 23 of you. That's amazing. Sophie, blah blah, from Hanover. Blah blah is a wonderful username. Gabriella, 81 Tizzle, Kolya, Shannon, Maya. So anyone who wants to come over to Zoom, please do so. And Shannon, can I make you my co-host? And if anyone's trying to get in, you can let them in. If anyone's misbehaving, you can kick them out. Yeah? Oh, yeah, boot out those robots. But we'll see if I have been able to outsmart the robots. And robots are very clever, so I'm not sure that I can outsmart them. But I've put an extra step into entering the Zoom room. Oh, here we go. And I didn't plug in my headphones, so I'm really well prepared. I'm just going to do that now. Hi, Eliza. Plugging in headphones, so my kids who are still awake can't hear all the fun we're having on Zoom. All right, cool. Now I'm plugged in. Only I can hear Zoom. So anyone watching on YouTube, you'll be missing out on the high quality conversation in Zoom. Um, Shannon is now co-host, and you'll be able to assist me in letting in real people. Here are a couple of names I recognize. Welcome, welcome. um, and the if you're watching, if you're participating in Zoom, hi Tamara. It'd be great if you keep YouTube on because it's really good for my watch hours and statistics, but you can mute it because you'll be able to hear what's going on in Zoom. And I figured out amazingly how I can use my OBS, that my live stream setup is now what you see in Zoom as well. So you'll see exactly the same thing in Zoom as if I'll spotlight myself. There we go. I can hear myself on Zoom. Thank you very much. So we're now almost ready. Anyone who wants to join the actual speaky voice conversation in Zoom can follow that extra step in the description below. And I think now we're probably good to go. And I would love you chatting in the chat. That would be awesome. Because that's also a great thing that YouTube likes to see, apparently. And I think I'm ready. Here's a really awesome face. So for those of you who were here like a month ago, we did these. This is actually the reference I wanted to do last. So we'll come over here, and I've got the full frame images to show you because they're just so incredible. So a month ago, we were working from these 1920s mugshots from Sydney, Australia, and they're just incredible. They're just such amazing, like moving, beautiful images. And the website that was hosting them shut down 2 days after the live stream. So that was strange, but I got a lot of screenshots and die Sara. Julia, thank you so much for sharing your screenshots with me. So this is going to be our first, hi Lewis, our first face for the day. And unfortunately, I'm not as clued in to the stories of all the people we'll be drawing today. But I'm pretty sure this guy was like a gang boss, and he's got the look, and there's another interesting gang leader I think that we'll be drawing, but I don't know all of their stories. But these were people who 100 years ago were photographed beautifully and allegedly did something that was against the law, but maybe they're innocent. Innocent until, I don't know, forever, perhaps, because it was 100 years ago, and they're not here now. So I just need to set my timer. Hello, everyone who's in Zoom. It's so nice having you in Zoom, so that I don't just have to listen to myself during the live stream. All right, I'm gonna start with this pencil, this pen, which is like a fine liner, and then if time permits, I will like add brushwork, add calligraphy pen. And maybe I'll do some charcoal towards the end if I feel like getting dirty. And I'd love you to tell me in the chat what you're going to be working with. And let's do it. We're 10 minutes in and we haven't started a portrait yet. So thank you all for being here. Let's draw. 10 minutes, starting now. Oh, my pleasure. So good having you here. Oh, time does move strangely when you're in a live stream. It also moves strangely when you're trying to put your kids to bed, thinking they'll be asleep because you're about to start a live stream. And like, I've got places to be. You're supposed to be asleep. But it's like, oh, it's a challenge, but it's like, all right. Here's my love, and I hope it will help you get to sleep really fast, but I've got to go. But it was just nice. I was able to set up a holly with icon. Oh, who is Kieran Hines? Oh my goodness. The guy who played Dumbledore. What was his name? Aberforth. Yeah. But What was the actor's name? Kieran Hines. Yeah. Oh, cool. Does. Mm-hmm. Wow. Cool. So this guy, this potential gang leader, cool, reminds Eliza of Kieran Hines, who was Dumbledore's brother, amongst other things, and that would be so amazing. Maybe they're actually related. Who knows? It's yeah. So yeah, the name is C. Passmore, like or Passmore. The name was on the large format. I've also saved them. I will let you know the names as we're drawing them because many of you were interested in the names. So yeah, this bizarre thing happened that last month I felt like the mugshot live stream was so good, and then the day after we did a 10-minute sketch of the photographer George Howard, and I was telling everyone, go check out the website, it's so cool, you can see the stories and there are all these other faces and it's really amazing. And then Tuesday, it was, or maybe even Monday, the website didn't exist anymore. It had been taken down. Um, so it's just like it stayed up long enough for me to grab some screenshots and us to be able to work on it. And I was just kind of like, it was so bizarre that it then, like right after the live stream, it just was gone. But my darling sister has brought me the book from the exhibition. So all of these photos, for those who weren't here last time, they are a collection of mugshots from the 1920s in Sydney, Australia. And they were taken by a police photographer. And there was an exhibition, a travelling exhibition in New South Wales called Underworld Mugshots of the Roaring Twenties. And until a couple of weeks ago, there was this really amazing website where you could check out stories and photos of all of these amazing characters. Um, and yeah, Claire was able to grab a book for me, and Claire's going to be coming over to Germany this year. So we'll see. We'll see if there are more. Another live stream's worth of faces. I don't know, but it's been so interesting. Like getting in touch with these stories. Okay, we're like 4.5 minutes in. It's like my loose-ish kind of drawing. Ha ha ha. Good question. So there's a question from Zoom. Um, do I think they look menacing because I know they were criminals, or they look menacing because they look menacing? That's very interesting. There are actually some of the references that I have today that are really like, whoa. There's a guy with a big scar on his face, and the guy who's got like these glowing eyes, but he's like in shadow. And um, yeah, it's a good question. I I really had this strong sense last time that I was like, we don't know what was up with these people, what led to the decisions they made that got them caught by the police and had these stunning photographs taken. Um, and was it, yeah, I don't know. But it's interesting that you mentioned that because I feel like some of the faces we're sketching today really they look the part. Whereas I thought some of the ones last time just looked like adorable or maybe down on their luck or tired. And this time, what was that? Yeah. Well, we had the portrait session yesterday. Eliza was there. That was great. Every first Friday of the month, we do a Zoom portrait session. Um, and they were saying they all look amazing and so stylish. And Mark had said how criminals these days they they're letting themselves go. They don't look as good as they used to. And it was like, yeah, maybe it's like you can tell they're up to no good because they're dressed so well. They're so stylish. I don't know. But yeah, that's a very interesting question. Yeah. If you're going to do something that might get you photographed by this amazing photographer, then you should definitely dress for the part. That was Jane's. I think Jane had this idea that last time that maybe people, because the photography was so good and the photographer was getting famous because of all this amazing photography, people would like commit crimes just so they could get their awesome portrait taken by this photographer. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. As we progress through this, everyone in the chat watching on YouTube, you can let us know. Do these people look truly menacing, or do they look like, I don't know what? Because it's a judgment call to be like, oh, that person looks like a criminal, that person looks dangerous. Like, what does that even mean? What kind of circumstances led to people making certain decisions in their lives or whatever? But yeah, it is an interesting question. But this is quite a face to start with. D Pasco. All right. So he looks like a very respectable politician so far. How do I? Or maybe it's a subtle shift from respectable politician to gang boss. So how do I imply a bit of the menace? Just keep going, keep drawing until it turns into a mob boss. All right, we've got just over a minute left. Maybe, I don't know. Interesting. So the question was, do I feel like after a month of 10-minute portraits, my longer portraits that I'm doing at the moment, do they feel more developed? So far, most of them have been like around the 10-minute, not 10-minute, 30-minute mark, or like around 35 minutes or something. My 30 Faces 30 Days ones that I've been posting. I definitely feel like all of the quick sketching has it helps so much. But it's so nice having that extra time, going from 10 minutes to 30 or 40. It's just like a different kind of realm of possibility, and the level of finish. It's really, I'm enjoying having a bit more time. I am missing the 10-minute portrait live streams though. They were awesome. All right, time's up. But I put on this dark shape up in the head here, and now I'm like, oh, it looks like a chunk out of his head. How do I redeem that? Maybe the hair needs to be a bit darker. Put in some more darkness to help balance it out. But yeah, I'm really. I did a portrait today. I just posted it in my stories. This one was super fun. Oh, calligraphy pen and vertical hatching. Oh, so good. Love it. Did you see that? I only just held it up for like a second, but that felt like, oh yeah. Stina had written to me and was like, oh Dylan, you must be looking forward to this vertical hatching, and I was like, oh, I am now. All right, this is overtime, but that big dark splotch on the side of the head is just, I don't know, I don't feel like it's translating as well from the reference to my drawing. So I just had to go a little further. So you'll get some bonus time for this one. What's going on with that? Okay, we'll leave it at that. Let it dry. It's the first one, have time to get into the flow of things. Moving along. At the end, I will look back upon all of the session sketches and see how things are. Here we have E. Parker. And while we have a look at this beautiful image, and I love this like blurry distortion thing on the side, I'll just have a look at the chat. Nice to see people in the chat. I'd love you all to get busy in the chat. Hi Robin, Carla, Faber-Castell, Pit Mac Graphite for Christmas, cool. Made a mess filling your fountain pen. Charcoal sounds like a clean solution. This is watered down black ink. Yeah, that's what I was using with the brush. Bags under the eyes, looking tired. All right. Today's the first time drawing with Dylan. Blah, blah. Welcome. It's so nice having you here. That's cool. First of many, perhaps. You're always welcome to come back and draw some more. And anyone who's watching the replay of this, you can also join us live. And every Tuesday I do live sessions via Zoom. Politician, mob boss, potato. Awesome. Okay, yeah. The mob boss's name was C. Passmore or Passmore, so it's written up there. C. Passmore. Yeah. What was E. Parker? Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember the story. But here we go. E. Parker. E. Parker wasn't as intense as mob boss. Crime was being too beautiful. Maybe that was it. All right, 10 minutes. Let's go. Boom, 10 minutes. 31 people are watching. Hello, everyone. Hit the like button if you haven't already. That would be amazing. And say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're joining from. So there was actually another one of the people that we'll be drawing. The two of them, I can't remember what the story was, but they were like a set. Two friends, I think, who I guess got busted together. And what were they up to? Some of the interesting. Some of the descriptions of some of the people, it was like vagrancy, suspected of being a suspected person. So that's why I was thinking, like, what do these people even do? But then when it says, like, next to the name, gang boss, then there's a bit more weight to it. Or some of them were bruisers, like there were joyriders as well. There were these different categories of crime, or what do we even call it? Suspicion of a certain crime, I guess. And joyriders, gang members, vagrants, thieves. Everyone's welcome to come and join us in ZOOM, and the link is down in the description. I think someone has YouTube on as well as Zoom, and if you could mute it, that would be cool. Because I guess you're probably hearing it twice, because I am. I don't know. I'm hearing myself twice. Yeah. Shannon, you might be able to see, as my wonderful co-host, thank you so much, next to the names, there'll be microphones lighting up when there's sound coming through. Okay, but it sounds good now. Thanks. And anyone who wants to speak up and say anything over on Zoom, then feel free. But if you just want to hang out and feel like you're in a room with friends drawing, then Zoom is the place to be. Yes. Do you know? Oh, Elsie Parker was suspected of assault and robbery. Thank you, Julia. Julia saved a bunch of screenshots. Loving last time. I'm so glad that you grabbed those screenshots. That was awesome. Assault and robbery. Yeah, so special. I'm maybe, and these are like rubies around her neck, and oh no. Oh, they were acquitted. So does that mean they did it or they didn't do it? Oh, that's so cool. So Julia has all the juicy details because Julia saved all these awesome screenshots and was just saying over in Zoom. I hope I can like relay part of the story. That what was it? It was a door-to-door salesman. They invited him in, bashed him, assaulted, packed him up. They took bloomers and petticoats. So they stole some large underwear. And what did they do with him after they had beat him and packed him up? They put they, they put him in a taxi. They dumped him at a bus stop. But they were acquitted. They were acquitted. He'd probably asked for it. So they were acquitted of the crime. So a Mona Lisa smile. An underwear thieving salesman bashing Mona Lisa smile. Thank you so much for the story, Julia. That's great. Aggravated underwear assault. So they're not. It's not stolen rubies around her neck. It's the underwear she's wearing, which is potentially stolen. The large underwear. Bloomers is such a good word. Petticoats and bloomers. Yeah. Wow. What kind of poop? All right. And it would be faceted, like cut into facets. It was really hard poop. There's so many good things happening over in Zoom in the conversation. These beads remind me of my grandmother's poop. Oh no, sorry, Grandma had a necklace made of poop. Can't just leave out important details like that. It's interesting because I was thinking amethyst or something, but I'd love to know more about jewelry made of poop. That sounds really interesting. Oh yeah, did everyone know? Like everyone who saw it knew? what it was made of. That she would wear poop. Probably looked really good. Yeah, would you wear a necklace made of poop if it was beautiful? Tell us in the comments. I Go for it. There are all these awesome freckles. I'd like to get some freckles in here. Just wondering, we've got a minute and a half left. What? Yes, the poop necklace. Yes, please. Yeah. Mm. So Shannon, you did a YouTube a live stream while I was asleep. It sounds like it was fun. Cool. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, so everyone, make sure you follow Shannon, subscribe to Shannon on YouTube. Shannon has started doing some live streams and is the co-host of the Drawn Together show. Which actually, Shannon was like, we should do this thing. And I had kind of vaguely had this idea of doing this thing for years and not really gotten around to it. And it's so cool that we do it together. So thank you, Shannon. Yeah, it is so good. Oh, yeah. Cool. All right, that was our 10 minutes. I like the little freckle edition there. Eyes a bit too bright, but there's no big chunk out of the head like there was with the Pasco, so that's nice. All right, I was going to save it for later, but now's the time to say things in the chat, everyone. Looking up, just to see what's going on. And what was D. Buchanan? So this was just that shape on the image. Like there's the photo, which is awesome, and then there's just like this, I don't know what that is. But so this was the what do you call it when someone, your partner in crime? This is a partner in crime of E. Parker, D. Buchanan, and it was interesting. I was just like, she looks so lovely, doesn't she? And she beat up this underwear salesman, allegedly. That's all right. I'm sure they, had their reasons. All right, so let's just since they're a team. I'm imagining they're like besties, and they both have really good underwear, and they do now. Maybe that was it. They were just like, it's like this guy has the best underwear, so we're gonna have it. 10 minutes. Tell me in the chat if what your most comfortable favorite underwear is, or don't. Oh. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, definitely. So the comment was that people in the Depression in the 20s, like being charged with vagrancy is like being charged for being poor. Yeah. And so I had read something interesting in the kind of background of this exhibition. That was saying that, so I don't know if it was something to do with the First World War, that a lot of either it was like the kind of people who would be police had kind of gone off to war, leaving other people who have absolutely no interest in that line of work, people that perhaps would rather joyride and be vagrant. So it's interesting, just like the whole narrative, the way it's explained is like, if you're there's so much you can just say with words to create an idea of these people that were essentially maybe just criminalized for being poor. And it's like, yeah, from whose perspective do you talk about it from? Yeah, not these ladies. Yeah, these ladies were not vagrants. They were not being vagrant. They were at home, and someone came to their house with lovely underwear and was asking for it. Yeah. Why are there no more door-to-door bloomers salesmen? These women are why. That's great. It sounded really appealing as a job description, but then once you get out into the harsh reality of what kind of yeah part of the training, the 2-day crash course in training is like the self-defense session. You are going out there with the most comfortable underwear there is, so you're going to have to yeah. In day 1 you learn the sales pitch. In day 2 you learn to defend yourself. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. Got to get the motives right. Why are you applying? Why do you think you're the right person for this job? Let us know in the chat why you would be the perfect person for this line of work. Yeah, I did some. Oh, this I've made the hat look like a giant egg thing. It's very big. um, I was a door-to-door salesman for like 2 months in Australia. I was just selling food. It was called Aussie Farmers Direct, and I got that. It was yeah, totally interesting. Just like walking the streets, telling people they should buy Australian food, and a lot of them were like, "You're right, I should," and then it worked out pretty well. Oh no. This is fitting for this evening. Oh no. Did he get classy mugshots taken? That, that's quite a story. So over in Zoom, we've just learnt that in Oklahoma, that someone's father was a door-to-door salesman for an hour because it's illegal to do door-to-door sales, and got arrested for trying to sell an encyclopedia. Um, so there's like, oh, ordinance. That's a cool word. Stop trying to push encyclopedias onto people. Yeah, probably. Or maybe they're trying to protect door-to-door salesmen by arresting them. It's like it's a dangerous line of work. Yeah, such a wonderful smile. Um, Good question. Is it still possible to sell things door to door? Don't know. There are some kind of laws about like you, depending on what it is, like cold calling, where you used to just be able to call people up and like, "Hi, this is Dylan from Fancy Pants. I'd love I'd love to sell you some underwear." That like I think like in German. Fancy Pants. Fancy Pants Budgie Smugglers Incorporated. I like I think now it's illegal in Germany. Like you can't even call people trying to sell them stuff. I'm not sure. Um, or that cold calling, but I don't know. The telephone companies and Interpol calling me all the time. Oh wow. Yeah. 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 So yeah. Let's give you some reading material. Yeah. So maybe it's a thing of the past. I don't know. Yeah. Now you can send people an email telling them that you've inherited millions and you'd like to give it to them. I've inherited all this money and I need to put it somewhere. Can I please put it on your account? Imagine if someone came to your door with that story and be like, "Oh yeah, okay." Uh, I wonder how often that pays off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess some people must have been buying, getting into it. Mm-hmm. All right. That's it for our D Buchanan. I don't know. I feel like not sure about this one for me at the moment. I was able to salvage the hat a bit, but still needs a bit more time perhaps. But let's just move along. Um, Cold calling is also illegal in the Netherlands. Uh, my favourite bloomers are the kind stolen from a male door-to-door bloomer salesman. The best kind. All right. Here we have. I'm gonna go with the right. I just think this whole image is amazing. Like the handwriting, which is then reversed. It just looks incredible. I want to focus on the guy on the right, Delaney. I think his whole posture, the way he's holding the hat, and it's so cool. Like the texture, all this grit and stuff on this image is just so cool. But I'm gonna zoom in on this, and draw Delaney. Do you have the history of Delaney handy, Julia? You're looking cool. If you find out, let us know. Hang on, how does that work? So if all the English and the grammar and it all sounds wrong, and that's just part of the tactic. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, I just remembered that I'm giving away one of these sketches, and if you're interested in winning, please tell me in the chat on YouTube and say I would like to win one of these sketches, and then I will send it to you wherever you are. How about what? On Zoom? Yeah, you could say it on Zoom. It's actually you're saying it right now. Eliza is staking a claim. When it's all on YouTube, then I have it all in the same place, and then I go through at the end, and I make a little spreadsheet with the names, and then I use this random number generator. But I'll endeavour to remember Eliza. Eliza's actually already won one of my giveaways. You actually have pretty good odds with my giveaways. And yeah, last time it was Ev M. Ben, who was like it was my favorite portrait that I did. So cool. And the Stray Scientist, Fabian Bartz, won. And he got it like the day before Christmas, which was pretty cool. And you cool. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. So it's still in transit for Eliza. It's okay. Joseph Delaney. There's not so much information. Oh, Delaney was suspected of stealing in a dwelling. Suspected. A dwelling. Um, I think yeah, it's a wording for a house, but to dwell somewhere is basically just to be there, right? But I think it probably means a house, but I feel like it leaves it open to interpretation to call it a dwelling rather than a house. Suspected. Oh, Anyone Tizzle would love to win a sketch. Maybe you will. Because you're my friend. You can enter. Oh yeah. Um. All right. But I thought about it today. I haven't made the post yet, but I will. Yeah. It will be right when it's right. All right, we're about halfway now with Delaney, and I'm feeling like I like the drawing I've got set up, and I just can take my paint dropper tool and fill in some. Oh no, not really. I haven't closed the shapes. It would just spill out everywhere. Everything would be grey. I think he looks great. um, so I was just asked if I think he looks guilty. There was this thing I mentioned last time. It's like how Kira does this thing when she's training English teachers, and she shows them a class worth of photos, and it's like, all right, tell me who's going to get the best marks and who's going to be a problem student. And then the students get right into it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that person looks really shifty, yeah, they're probably going to be like that, and that person's like that, or that person's going to get really good marks. And then she'll just like catch them and be like, do you realize what you're doing? You don't know anything about these people, and you're like making all these judgments. So I don't feel equipped to decide whether he looks guilty or not. I think he looks great. Could be guilty and great. Or is this do you know the answer? No. He was suspected. I wonder if in any of the stories about these people, whether it says they definitely were this thing, or if it's all like careful, suspected, alleged, or maybe it's just all of the mugshots that were shared were of the friendly ones. I don't know. I was looking like there. No, not this one so much, but there was another one where there were these two guys sitting together, and they look kind of cheeky, and like they're having fun, and I was thinking their clothing. Like a lot of them look like what they're wearing just looks really really good, and I was wondering if that was like, I don't know, woolen clothing. It looks like some of the suits, like woolen suits, and I think that might be a bit warm in Australia, but who knows? It gets like everyone wore dress up in the 20s. Everyone was always dressed to impress in the 20s. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's interesting what you mention it. Now that you mention it, when I think of dress ups, I kind of automatically think of this Great Gatsby style decadence, and yeah, so that's an interesting way to think back on the 1920s, that everyone was wearing dress up. Got a minute left. So how many people watching at the moment that on YouTube who were following along with the 10-minute portrait challenge? Last month, I did a 10-minute portrait live stream every day, and I loved it. It was so much fun, and I'll definitely do it again sometime. Right now, I'm doing longer portraits every day, but not live streaming them as part of 30 Faces, 30 Days. And it is nice after all that 10-minute sketching to do some longer poses. And it's also been interesting following along. I've been listening to some of the lessons as I draw, and even if I don't necessarily do what they're saying, that I've been kind of listening. Interesting to gain insight in different people's approaches and the way they kind of do things. All right, that's 10 minutes with Delaney. All right, that's fun. I feel like I could do with a bit more contrast over here, but that's it. Moving along. Tamara would love to win. Stefan would love to win. Carla would love to win. Anyone else who would love to win, let me know in the chat, and I'll be giving away one of these sketches, and I'll send it to anywhere I can. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here are a couple of friends. So when you asked if I think, yeah, menacing, right? Do these people? Well, how did you word it, Eliza? You're like, do these people look dangerous or menacing, or is it just because we know that these are mugshots and the criminals? Yeah, I know, right? Look at that. Like his eyes are glowing in the shadow. So interesting. And I love the flowing cursive handwriting, like written. It's got like this scratched in block text, but like there's this, like we can see the handwriting on the image at the top, and it looks so amazing. Oh, and the hands. These guys are dressed pretty good, dress ups. So here are two friends just hanging out together, getting their portrait taken. Pretty amazing scar here. So E. Dalton and D.E. Gracy, or De Gracy. Collier would love to win. Gabriella would love to win. Sophie would love to win. Maya would love to win. Awesome. Anyone who wants to win one of these sketches, just let me know, and one of you will. Stefan, have I heard stories of the Razor Gangs of Sydney? Great episode on the Dollop podcast. There's something, I think one of the people we're going to be drawing today, it was part of the Razor Gang, but I don't actually know what the story is. So let us know in the chat if you feel like informing us. But yeah, the Dollop podcast, I'll check that out. Thank you. When I was looking up the website, the screenshots for this, the Razor Gang had their own like whole section. So I'm really, really interested to learn about it. So interesting that you bring it up, Stefan. All right, let's draw this chap, E. Dalton. And if you're liking what you see here, if you'd like to win one of these, let me know in the chat. Say I'd like to win, and you might. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. That would be amazing, and then you can catch all future podcasts. There are going to be podcast kind of things. Drawn Together is like a podcast where we draw someone, Shannon and I, and we draw someone and we just chat to them for like an hour and a half. But also live streams, draw along live streams is a thing I love doing. And it'd be great to have you all here all the time. So let's draw E. Dalton. And you can get as busy in the chat as you like. And after this portrait is done, I'll have a look. And I'll be able to read things. And if you would like to hang out and chat, because I'm not talking to myself when I'm responding to spoken questions. There I have friends hang out on Zoom with me, and I hopefully cleverly have done something. If you look down in the description, you'll find something. I've added an extra extra step, and I hope that I'm really clever and that no porn bots will come crashing the party like they did last time. And if they do, we'll just kick them out. And they're not real people anyway. So yeah, yeah, a lot of effort went into making the video. Cool. Glad you got my back. It was so interesting last time because it was like just within moments of mentioning that it was a possibility, it was like 3 bots crashed the party. And it was just like, whoa, what's going on? Where are they coming from? And it was just like, Jane was co-hosting and kind of like, whoa, what's this? And but we managed. And Jane was also a great support. I went in with like this shadow over here because it's like such a strong part of this image is that like the top part of the face is in shadow, and I just felt like it's gonna help to kind of understand what I'm looking at, just to put some of that shadow in. Language warning for the Dollop podcast. I think I can handle it. I can handle porn bots crashing my party. I can handle a bit of language. But thank you for the heads up. I won't listen to it with my kids. Edgar Eddie Dalton. Oh, that means he was arrested for being poor. Arrested for being idle and having insufficient means of support. Arrested for being poor. That's, yeah. You look really good, you're dressed amazingly, but you have insufficient means of support, and you're not doing anything, so we're going to arrest you. These guys were arrested for looking good, for sharp good looks. And they do look good. Maybe a little menacing, but good. Looks lazy. He looks idle. Looks like he's not doing anything. Arrest that man, he's not doing anything. Idle hands in the devil's plaything. What are these fellows up to? Look at them. Not doing anything. Oi, you! He looks what? He looks more criminal than the other ones. This guy looks criminal. Yeah. Arrested for looking criminal. So a lot of people like war veterans and stuff. So there's some photos of people missing legs and, you know, big scar across the face, and could be, you know, who knows? Oh, I'm just looking at that eyes. That look in his like, yeah. Just, ugh. Could find a wife to support him. Yeah. So, yeah. Arrested for insufficient means and being idle. Thank you so much for that information. Wow. How rude. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Eliza. Have a wonderful day. Bye. My mum is here. Good morning, Mum. Hope you had a good sleep. Thanks for joining. Mum's here. Mum and Dad are watching. That's nice. I love my parents so much. They're great. Live on the other side of the world. But the great thing about the world is, if it is a sphere, as we've been told, is spheres only have one side, so they actually live on the same side of the world. They're just one of the furthest away parts of that side as you can get. Thanks for tuning in. Joining us from Australia. Any other Australians watching at the moment? Anyone ever been arrested for being idle and poor? Like these innocent... How did I get so far away from my parents? That's a good question. Just started walking. Before I knew it, I was really far away. I was 21 when I left Australia, and I thought it would be for a year. And then it was like for 4.5 years. And then I went back, met Kira, my wife, in Germany, and we went back to Australia, spent a couple of years there. And back then we had this idea. It was like, oh, let's do like 2 years here, 2 years there. We'll just like keep switching, go back and forward. That'd be so fun, get the best of both worlds. But it turned out that was a pretty kind of exhausting thing. Like, it was actually at the end of the 2 years in Australia, and we were committed to going because Kira's Oma was like losing her memory, and Kira's really close to her, and so she wanted to come back and spend some time with her, and she wasn't here much longer once we got here, so we got to spend a little time with her. So that's why we had like set the time to come back after 2 years. And when we left Australia, it was like things had just started. It felt like it started getting really good, and it's like, we're going and everything is great here. And that was kind of like a bit draining after. I feel like this one's working out really well. This idle chap is maybe my favorite so far. Maybe because of his idleness has just... All right. Okay. Yeah, and then I'm still here. But for now, see what happens. We have 3 kids now, so it's a bit tricky. Australia's quite far away. Very thankful for the internet that enables us to keep in touch in ways we wouldn't have been able to back in the 1920s. So, Mum and Dad, in case you missed it, these are mugshots from the 1920s from Sydney. And anyone else who may have missed it. Oh, 1 second left. That was it. Oh, I like this one. This was cool. All right. And now let's move over to his buddy, his idle friend. Were they both idle and poor? Oh, thinking of him now, thinking, whoa, he looks so intense, and like I was thinking, well, what was this criminal accused, like what was he arrested for? And I was like, well, look at this, and now I'm thinking, oh, this was just a poor guy who got arrested. Gives like a whole different vibe to this image. That's so interesting. Just what a bit of background story can do. Augustine Gus Gracy. All right. Yeah. 10 minutes. Had lots of names. This guy had lots of names. The offence is unknown. This guy was not idle or poor. No one knows. Wrong place at the wrong time. He looks suspicious. Look, just look at him. So offence unknown. But he does have a lot of names. But maybe if you look suspicious, maybe it's good to have a lot of names. I don't know. Oh, so good having you here to tell us that these people didn't do anything wrong. Or there's not even like, I don't know. I don't know anything about these people apart from they look amazing. Yeah, cool. What did you do? Who for? Mm-hmm. Oh, the angle on this head makes it tricky and interesting. So interesting. Just like how looking at the just by hearing these are mugshots, these are criminals, and maybe they're not even, maybe they didn't do what they were arrested for, or maybe they were arrested for nothing. And it's so interesting, just with a bit of a narrative, bit of storytelling, how it can influence like the whole perception and mood of. Yeah. 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 Like they'd probably, or possibly had, you know, maybe in the wrong place at the wrong time a few too many times. Yeah, when if they got 5 names, it's like, hang on, last week didn't you tell me your name was this? Oh, we've met before. What's your name? Hang on, last time it was a different name. Yeah. Well, there was one. I saw one of them was arrested for hanging out with thieves, being associated with thieves, and which doesn't necessarily make them a thief, but or they frequented a place where thieves also were. Um, yeah, and so isn't that why Jesus got arrested? Maybe. Yeah, it's so interesting. He was a table flipper. Arrested for table flipping. Rabble rouser. That's a good word. To rouse. is it rouser, rabble rouser, for rousing the rabble. That's also a very classist. Um, so the rabble, for the German speakers here, or anyone else who has not heard the term before, rabble rouser. The rabble are like the Fußvolk, the and to rouse them is to get them rising up. And so being a rabble rouser is a undesirable thing, which Jesus was. It's getting the people forgetting their place in the grand scheme of things. Getting uppity. Table flipper. That was a scene in a movie, right? Or was it also a scene in the Bible? Jesus then flipped the table. I have a very clear cinematic image of Jesus doing some table flipping, so I'm thinking it must have been in a film. Not icy grey, white eyes. Maybe blue. It is amazing how bright they look. Like in that shadow, they're just really remarkable. Yeah. Criminally blue. Ah, it's nice. What's your favourite blue? Ultramarine, cerulean, criminal blue is my favourite blue. Dad says he looks guilty. I think Dad wasn't here when we had this talk about how you can't judge someone just by looking at them, but Dad says he looks guilty. Dad can judge. Dad's got a feel for these things. My dad. Looks guilty. Yep, he did it. Did what? I don't know. He did it though. Yeah. Whatever you need someone having done something for, he did it. I feel a bit like something a bit in the wrong place in the drawing, but that's all right. Oh my goodness, we've got 2 minutes left. Is Dad drawing along, Mum? Are you drawing along, Mum? Is anyone who's watching this not drawing along? And if... or drawing something totally different. Not totally. Is anyone drinking coffee and insulating their shed? Whatever you're up to, let us know. That was cool. Slim, but then 100% because it happened. It was so. Oh. Buckaroo Bonsai, who's that? It's a family reunion. Claire's here too. Good morning, Claire. Oh yeah, you can come to Zoom. I've made it an extra bit difficult, but not. It shouldn't be difficult for humans. Humans are welcome. If you fish around in the writing below the video, but for those who know, you already know, and you can saunter on in because you already know how to get in. For those who don't know, have a look below, down in the description, and maybe you'll find something clever. It was funny. I was thinking, oh, this is so clever, doing it like this. And I was like, hang on. Bots and artificial intelligence are also very clever. Maybe a little cleverer than me. But maybe these bots are just like, not like the Google AI. They're just like cheeky offense bots. And they get sent out to spread offense, which that won't work on me. Can't offend me, bot. Oh, really? Why? Ah, okay. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. They're just after some content. Because I was just thinking there can't be humans behind it. All right. This is not as dark as the original. Shannon says I made him look so handsome. Yeah, they all just really look great. That's interesting. What? All right, next one. Move along. Next, please. Okay. Oh, we already did the Buchanan. This is a fun one. G. Wallace. Oh, love this photo. So good. Lisa's here. How good is this photo? If anyone has anything in the chat that is or wants to say anything, hi Barbara. Is Grace's house party come to an end? I didn't make it because my kids were still awake. Robocop, huh? Should we draw Robocop one day? Dad says he looked guilty. Reading. I'm enjoying this strange experience of watching you on YouTube and only getting half of the experience. It's wild and wacky and I love it. I love that you're experiencing this. Thank you for being here. Each and every one of you. All right, let's draw G. Wallace. I love this photo. Both of them. It's so cool. I think both of them will be super fun to draw, but we're going to go in on the hatless portrait here and see what we can capture in 10 minutes. Hi, Marion. Hi, Tina. There's like Greece friends coming. Has everyone been at the Greece party? And then you're heading over here? Let's draw G. Wallace. Do we know anything about G. Wallace? Oh, really? That's a bit unappetizing. Oh, I was thinking he just looks so, you know, I don't know. Maybe that's just what his friends called him. Uh-oh. All right, I won't relay that message. No. George, the midnight, naughty person. Yeah. Look, he's not looking at the camera. Has everyone else so far has been like looking at the camera, right? This guy looks guilty. Look at me, George. Oh, Claire, are you? Oh no. We've got another fact checker. Claire, have you read the book? Hang on. Are you on Zoom as well, Claire, or not? Oh, okay. But Claire knows what we're talking about because Claire's read the book. Okay, so Claire doesn't have to be on Zoom to know because Claire knows. Did you have a good sleep, Claire? I don't know. Like videos, VHS. Oh. VHS. You need like 2 VCRs, right? Or do you have a different format? I am in Mount Barker, where I partially grew up. There was a Blockbuster Video, which was very exciting. That American franchise made it, or was a franchise from the States, I guess, which made it all the way to Australia. And they did this. Yeah, thank you for all those videos. And I entered this competition. It was playing NBA Jam on the Super Nintendo, I think it was. And they had like all these consoles set up and you could go in and play and you could win stuff. And I won some stuff. It was fun. Back in the day when I used to play Super Nintendo. Speaking of winning, thank you very much. Thanks, Shannon. Speaking of winning, if you would like to win one of these sketches, then please tell me in the chat that you would like to win one of these sketches, and you may very well win one of these sketches. And every time I do these live streams where I do a whole bunch of sketches, I give one away, and it's fun. And it'll be interesting to know which is your favourite, whichever one it is, wherever you are in the world. If you have a postal address where it can be sent to, I will send it to you. So let me know in the chat if you're interested in winning one of these sketches. Thanks, Shannon. Yeah, speaking of winning things, I was pretty pumped. I was like, oh yeah. It was a very validating experience being good at playing Nintendo. Yeah. Hello everyone in Zoom. It's nice having you here. Whether you're chatting or just part of the ambience, it's awesome. Oh, we're about halfway in. I'm glad that it's awesome. Also for people beyond myself. That's a lovely thing. It's better than being good at NBA Jam on Super Nintendo. Yeah, that was pretty good. It was fun. It'd be like after you get like 2 or 3 goals, it'd be like, he's on fire, and then your shoes would be on fire, and you could run really fast across the basketball court, and then you'd be like heaps better, and like no one could catch you, and it'd be easier to get goals and stuff. It's the sportiest I've ever been. Playing NBA Jam with the Super Nintendo. I was also pretty sporty when I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Oh yeah, that was a really cool game. And it was cool when Claire was in the States and I was in Europe, and we were actually visiting the places where we had skateboarded it, and be like, hey, look where I am. I did this awesome grind here. Wow, we did this together. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, it's so weird going out into the world and realizing that these places from movies and games are like based on real places. Because for the rest of the world who doesn't get to go to those places, it's just like this kind of imaginary fantasy land. And then when you actually go to those places, like, this is so weird. I've been here before. I've I've witnessed superheroes saving the world here before, and now I'm actually walking down these roads. So interesting. It's just the right size. There's a there's a bit of a twist to the head. Bit of a twist. I don't. It's not like it's not a wide angle lens. I don't know if anyone, if we've got any photography experts in the chat, you could give us a guess at what kind of lens you think this was, and whether it's definitely a bit broader. The way we are perceiving that ear, the left ear does look broader than the right, but I think there's a bit of a, it's like turning his head in a very okay. Yeah. he's like he's looking over to one side in a very guilty looking way. I'm not one to pass judgment, but you know, these are all mugshots. So I haven't read the book either. I wasn't there. His ears are there. 100 years later, people are hanging out on YouTube looking and thinking, is that guy's one ear a bit bigger than the other one? Oh, have I made the shape of his head wrong? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Knowing why. Yeah. 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 Totally. Yeah. And that's interesting because the last one, when I was just like, oh, he was not even arrested for anything. I was just like, oh, just, make him handsome. Oh yeah. Sheep. Shady sheep. I was thinking recently, when I took that little video of sheep, thinking about the word sheeple, like before the Drawn Together episode with J.W. Cooper, and I spent the morning hanging out with some sheep with my kids, and they're so lovable, and it was so interesting. And I was thinking, sheep, I don't know, people like give them this rap about, being followers and not thinking for themselves, but I'm just like, just look at them. Look how much they're enjoying their oats and apples, and they're just so woolly, and they've just got I don't know. It's like the same thing with chicken, right? Like, you feel like a chicken, or you feel chicken, but chickens are like really courageous and persevering, resourceful birds. They can be pretty violent, yeah. It's like I feel like people are like, you're such a chicken, and it's like, yeah, I'll chase your children through the yard. I'm a chicken. Oh, yeah, chickens are wild. All right, chase. Good morning, Claire. All right, that's it for this shady character, G. Wallace. Here we have Kaylee. Is Kaylee? Some of my friends here on Zoom will be able to tell me. Is she also a mob boss? Do I recall that correctly? Was she like the head of a gang? Maybe someone can fill me in on that. But here's the full frame image. So cool. Such a boss. Good on her. Yeah, Kaylee. All right. Moving on to the next one with Kaylee. I'll just have a little read here. I think it looks like... Wait a minute. I have to go back to this G. Wallace. He looks like he's trying to fart without making a sound. Oh, that's great. Thank you for that laugh. He looks like he's trying to fart without making a sound. That's great. Cool. All right. Thank you for... It was great having you join us. Thank you for that laugh. Yeah. Blah, blah. It's a lot of fun with you today. You took a lot of photos. I never want to draw. Cool. Oh, it's great. It's great having you all here, whether you want to draw or not. There are 41 people watching. Is that because Grace's party is over and people have just come crashing in here, set to draw? If that's the case, you can also join us in Zoom if you know how to get there. If you're very resourceful, be able to look around and find out. So nice that there's so many people here. Was it confusing? You took the plunge and hit the link. Yeah. So if you are resourceful and you find your way, it will say join us on Tuesday, but it's not actually just for Tuesdays. Little hint. Well, somehow those bots got in last time without me even having to, expand upon it at all. They just jumped in there. Maybe. Who knows? You might get lucky. So, this is a great photo. Yeah, right. That was just the comment from Zoom. She's very maternal. Look at that smile, those eyes. Have you looked at the book much, Claire? Oh, really? How are you so confident about the... Hang on. I'm so confused. Did you know what we were talking about with the guy who was trying to hold in his fart? Powerfully judgmental. Yeah. Look. If... Oh, yeah? Give it to us. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Wait a minute. This was the queen of the underworld. And she... What did you say? She reigned over... Felon. Mm-hmm. Villain? Felon? Oh, she reigned over the majority of Sydney's sly drug market, and she was arrested for possessing cocaine. A portfolio. All right, so she would hire men to assist her, but she always maintained sole control of the business, and she had a punch like a kick from a mule. Apparently, she looks strong. If you were sweet with Kate, she would do anything for you and give you anything, but if you crossed her, she'd shoot you. She's inspiring. No. She wouldn't have just packed them into a taxi and left them at the bus stop. She looks confident. Yeah, it's so interesting, like the different expressions. Like I remember some of the ones from the last mugshot session that we did, like they look so tired and bored even. I love what you said, Shannon, about F Steele. It's just like he doesn't look emotionally involved. Like, yeah, it's just part of the job. Getting arrested, getting your gorgeous photo taken. Yeah. No, that was so how amazing is this photographer? Like they're such incredible images. And thanks again to Jane, who couldn't be here with us at the moment, but Jane got me onto these photos and I just love them so much. And it was so interesting. We also did the 10-minute portrait of George Howard, who was the photographer who took these photos. We're about halfway in. And they're so just amazing photos. There's so much to love about it. Like the composition, the lighting. It's like it's not always easy taking good photos. Sometimes you take photos and they don't look very good at all. And I guess, well, what was it, in the space of 10 years, he took like 2,500 of these photos, and it was apparently George Howard came up with the idea of taking the combination double exposure where there would be the full body standing image of the subject, the model, the muse, and and then the close up. So it would be on one negative, and it's just like the whole thing. Like you can see like the room they're standing in, the whole body language. It's so interesting. So they're really a treat to work from. Yeah, like they're probably all one shot. Like it would have been expensive back in the day. I guess they wouldn't have taken a whole bunch of shots. I don't know. What was it like? Not like when I take 1,000 photos to try and get one good shot. I imagine. Not just a cool stylistic thing. Like, wouldn't it be cool if we had this like double thing? It's like it's actually about saving money, and that's why the two images are one on one negative. Organizationally, I guess it would be interesting as well. Like to be like, oh, it's you've got that in one place. But yeah, it probably was a money saving thing. I didn't even think about that. I was just like, what an innovative, cool idea to do that double exposure. He's like, yeah. Just imagine George Howard coming into work one day, talking to his police superiors, and being like, I've got a good idea. We could put the portrait and the full frame, full body pose on the same image. Wouldn't that be cool? They're like, do it, George, do it. It's going to be so good. Yeah, no one else is doing mugshots like that. People are people are going to be talking about these mugshots for 100 years. It probably was just for money. It's just about saving money. But they're so beautiful, so good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Getting the client to agree to your vision is like part of the art. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. To convince people that good ideas are their own ideas. And then they were like, yeah, do that thing. I just had this really good idea. I'm like, yeah, I gave it to you. Do that. No, don't know if it's part of your experience. Yeah, what was that from this other gang boss? The way it was worded that if you were kind to her, she'd do whatever you want. So it's probably like that. Like, this is a really good idea. You know, have you heard about that great young photographer at the police station? He takes such good photos. Let's get caught with cocaine and get our portrait taken. That'd be so good. And after going down to the station, like, the only way you can get an appointment with this photographer, he's the greatest photographer in Sydney. The only way to get an appointment is by committing a crime, getting caught. That sounds great. I just had a great idea. Cool. I like this one. Thank you so much, Leigh, for your charm. She's going to like it too. I wonder if any of the descendants of any of these people drawing like any of these or watching this, let me know. They're all amazing looking people, and it's so cool. Such an honor being able to draw these people. Made her look like a sweetheart. I bet she was a sweetheart. Leigh. Awesome. Knew how to run a business. Yeah. We only have 2 left. I can't believe it. What is going on here? Oh, we've also been going at it for a while. Cool. And 31 of you watching. Amazing. I'd love you all to hit that thumbs up button and tell me in the chat if you've ever had your mugshot taken and what for. No, you don't have to tell me that. You don't have to tell me anything, but I'd love you to say hello in the chat. Here we go. This is one from the Razor Gang, Devine. And this is so cool. I don't think this is dressed like you, or she looks like you. We will get a little bit closer over here. This is a really different quality. This is from a different set of images. This is probably not by George, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to draw both faces or one. Not sure. Yeah, make a double exposure. All right. 10 minutes, 2 faces, go. just like a Tuesday. So every Tuesday I host these Zoom drawing sessions, and you can come draw with us. We draw each other, we give each other poses. If you don't want to be drawn, you don't have to. You can leave your camera off and you can just listen to the absurd conversation. And the first Friday of each month we also meet and draw. And it was so funny yesterday. It was just like ridiculously funny. And the Friday morning group is always a bit smaller, And for some reason, the narrative, the stories that get told on Friday mornings are just like worthy of cinema. And it's very exclusive because only a few people come, and then we just like, we go on a journey together. We went to the moon and snorted mustard. It hitchhiked with a Martian, a very attractive Martian, and the moon was made of brie, so it's moldy on the outside and slimy and delicious on the inside. Yeah, it was really fun. How many Friday sessions have you been to, Barbara? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty good. And did you get that feeling as well, that like Fridays has like a different flair somehow? It's interesting. Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting because having less people there, it's like we get to draw each other more often. Like on a Tuesday, we usually draw everyone once, and it's kind of like we have a cycle and we keep going around. And on a Friday, because there are less people, and that's makes it interesting as well. Because it's kind of like the story continues with the same characters, and it's cool. Yeah, so anyone can come and join us on Tuesdays or the first Friday of each month. The Zoom link is in the description below, and it's super fun and great sketching practice. And it's why I can do this, why I can sit here and just sketch, and to some extent have it look a bit like the people that I'm trying to draw. It's because I practice it every week for at least 2 hours, sometimes longer. It's actually like the biggest part of my social life, apart from spending time with my kids, is hanging out on Zoom, drawing with people. So it's great fun. It's the place to be. You don't even have to get out of your pajamas. I'm not. No, I am. It was actually really cold up here. I've got pants on. I had to wrap myself in a blanket, but I thought it'd be funny if I said that I wasn't. Was it? Oh, good. Yeah, because I told you. Not very good at lying, not much practice. Wow. That could have been cool. Ah. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking that. I was like, you didn't go, but you almost went. That's pretty good. Yeah. Awesome. All right. I'm about halfway. I'm going to start putting in some. That works. It's like 2.5 minute portraits. Now I'm going to put a bit of value in. Could be. Just being on the being in the mugshot frame of mind, I was thinking on meetup.com there was a group of people and they wanted to meet up and abseil into a bank. It was going to be so much fun. And but nice, abseiling into the ocean also sounds really awesome. Like, is that? Oh, cool. Wow. So you abseil in and then you run. Flip flops thongs. There's some pretty good storytelling happening in Zoom at the moment. That's why I'm not talking, because no, I want to hear. I want everyone who's in Zoom to hear. Yeah, asking to be bitten by a snake. Beautiful. So and that's uh, such a good story. After life-saving surgery to almost step on one of the most poisonous snakes. Um, that's what people think about. All right, 10 minutes, two portraits. All right, perhaps from now on, unfortunately we've only got one left, but it's just going to start. Keep pushing. All right, we did two portraits in 10 minutes, but to take a breath, calm down, and actually, right in the beginning, someone suggested I use charcoal. I was like, I'm not going to use charcoal. It's too dirty. But we're going to do the final portrait now. And anyone who's been dying to ask me questions during this live stream, ask me in the chat. And once I finish this, I'm going to flip back through all of the portraits that I've done and read your questions. And we can chat for a bit. Here, how good is this photo? Do we know anything about J.S. McKenzie? I know that the Z is written in a mirrored way. That's interesting. We have love his jacket, glasses. We noticed last time that not many of these people have glasses. And in my regular drawing sessions, nearly everyone has glasses. So it's interesting that J.S. McKenzie has glasses. If anyone has any information about what J.S. McKenzie was photographed for doing, then let us know. Wink, wink, Julia. Okay. All right, James Stewart McKenzie. And I've been drawing with ink the last 2 hours. And now I'm going to use charcoal. I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm going to get dirty fingers. There's not much been happening in the chat the last couple portraits. Now's the time if there's anything you'd like to say. 26 people watching, 36 likes. That is amazing. How is that even possible? I don't know, because a lot of people have gone. But it's so nice having everyone here. So how do I do it? I'll say, if everyone likes and subscribes to my channel, I'll drink this bottle of water. And if you would like to... if you would like to win one of the sketches, tell me in the chat. I'd like to win a sketch. It doesn't have to have that expression. You just want to sketch, and you might win. So I'll go through the list at the end and be like, who said they'd like to win a sketch? And I put it in a spreadsheet and then go to the random.org and get it to choose a random number. And now let's draw. What was it? James Stewart McKenzie? Let's go. 10 minutes. That's okay. Just know that he looks good. Well dressed. He can afford glasses. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I reckon there's a whole bunch of people that just got themselves arrested so they could have their portrait taken. Yes, M Devine, Devine. And she was a member of the Razor Gang, which I don't know if we got any extra information on the Razor Gang, but it's a thing to find out about. I don't know. Is oh no, oh wow. I know I watched the first episode, I think, because I wanted to find images of Cillian Murphy, who I have not yet drawn, and then I've seen this week that everyone who's joining the caricature resolution has been drawing Cillian Murphy. It's like, oh, I wanted to draw him too. But the Razor Gang, is it Peaky Blinders or Peaky Binders? What was it called? Oh, how unpleasant. Quite rude. I don't know. I don't know anything about the Razor Gang yet. We just had... they're probably very funny and had a cutting wit. And that's why they were the Razor Gang. Or maybe they're all murderous cutthroats and that's why they're called the Razor Gang. feel like I should be doing more. Ah, there you go. Drug dealers were there. Did they have anything to do with our kick like a mule punch matriarch Kaylee? Does she have something to do with the Razor Gang? They were involved. Ah, we just drew M Devine. Was that maybe not Tilly? Could be a sister or another name. Okay. Ah, interesting. All right. Yeah, so cool having. There we go. So we've sketched a couple of boss ladies today. In and out of the photo booth. Oh, those. Alright, the glasses are so white. Let's see if we can. I don't use charcoal a lot, so I'm just doing it. Getting charcoal-y fingers. Is anyone else using charcoal? Hilda wants to win a sketch. Maybe you will. Unfortunately, I don't have the wherewithal to right at the end of this be like da 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 and this person wins, because that would be really climactic and fun. Claire last time was like, did anybody win? You didn't say anything about it. And it's because I make a spreadsheet and then I put everyone's names in and then I go over to random.org and get that website to choose a winner for me. So I wish I could just be like, bam, bam, and here's the winner. That I imagine that would be so climactic and fun, and could just imagine the jubilation. There's got to be a better way. You're right. StreamYard, you reckon? You can do it on StreamYard. And does it like throw confetti and stuff? Oh, cool. I want a book. So Claire Sara is my YouTube coach and my sister, and is telling me how I could do better on my channel, which is good, because or could make the giveaways a bit more engaging and interactive with the instantaneous result, but I can't. I don't know how. Fun that people have to wait. No. They don't. Oh no, you don't have to wait to the next live stream. I announce it on Instagram or leave a comment. If you're not on Instagram and you're entering, you're going to have to tell me, so I'll be able to let you know. But yeah, I'm sure I'll be able to streamline the whole process as things progress. It'd be good to just to be able to. So far, the winners have been on Instagram, and some of them I've been familiar with because you've participated in my classes or been to sketch sessions or been Patreon supporters. So that's nice. But if someone wins and I don't know how to get in touch with that would be unfortunate. So make sure you get in touch with me and I know who you are. Because not only people I know win, anyone can win. Oh. All right, that was. How did I do with charcoal? That was 10 minutes. So that was the last under the hat. All right. So that was the last 10-minute portrait, and now with my dirty charcoal fingers, I'm going to pick up all the other portraits and I'm going to rub charcoal all over them. But I'll just flip back through everything we've done so far and just have a look. Take a moment to reflect upon what I felt like worked out and what didn't. And you can all let me know what you like. And if you've entered the giveaway, you can be like, oh, which one do I want to have? Which one? Which sketch do I covet? What would be the best in my collection? Oh, and you can look at them and wonder. And if you haven't entered the giveaway yet, do it now. And if you want to ask me anything, or if you just want to chat with other people hanging out in the chat, now would be the time to say something in the chat, because we're nearly finished. Yeah, all right. I haven't written down their names, but I'll write their names afterwards. So this was J.S. McKenzie. Oh, not too dirty. Have I got anything to clean my hands with? How's everyone doing? What about my black shirt? Just put a bit of charcoal on there. Maybe I can get some of my inky water to clean my hands. Now a bit cleaner. Okay. Thank you to all of these people who had their portraits taken 100 years ago. All of these muses. Thank you to everyone who's hanging out here sketching together, or just watching, or chatting in Zoom. It's been lots of fun. Tomorrow's on Instagram, but don't ever go there. I don't know how to use that. Yes, thank you so much for being a patron. if anyone wants to be a Patreon, I also have the link down in the description. I do monthly tutorial videos. I'm a little behind because of Christmas and stuff, but I'll do two tutorial videos this month. And I'm going to be sending out zines. My 10-minute portrait's going to be zines. My 30 Faces, 30 Days portraits are going to be zines. Going to be lots of zines coming out soon. And yeah, every month I do a tutorial which I share on my Patreon, and people can make requests, and I will... I tailor my tutorials to what you would like to learn from me and what we learn together. And sometimes I get to explore new things and kind of think, how do I actually do these things? So that's really fun. If you're interested in learning from me and supporting my work and my passion of sketching, then check out the Patreon. If you just want to give me a thumbs up, that's also great support, and a comment, that'd be awesome too. Let's have a look at all of these sketches we've been doing. Okay, I haven't written down all the names, but wait a minute. Maybe now is the moment to. This was J.S. McKenzie. So how was the charcoal? McKenzie. Yeah, I didn't. I thought about it, but then I did it the right way. I put my Z the right way around, even though in the amazing photo it was the wrong way around. I really like this. This was cool. So this, we didn't realize at the time of drawing, but Devine was also a gang leader from the Razor Gang who liked to disfigure people with razors. Oh, that's not very nice. But it was a pretty good drawing. Well, that was fun drawing you. Tilly. Oh, she was involved in a wide range of activities, including razor gangs and prostitution. All right. Here we go. Another boss lady. This one was fun. She is, isn't she? Kaylee. All right, Leigh. This one was so cool. So cool. I really like all of the reference was great, but I particularly like Kaylee's reference, and I really like the way this one turned out. It was really cool. And G. Wallace. If you would like to win one of these, tell me in the chat. You might win, and you can already think, oh, I'd like to have that one. Oh, that one looks good. I'd like that. You can meditate on it a bit. Who we got here? Oh, here we go. These friends, these idle, poor people. So that just for those who are wondering why I'm saying this, there was information that we had that apparently they were arrested for idleness, and what was it called? Having insufficient means, like basically for being not having the money to be looking so good. What was his E. Dalton? Yeah. Did you miss that, Claire? Yeah, you were probably still asleep. Yeah, so that was so cool. Julia was able to tell us that some of these people, like, what they were arrested for. Idleness, which means not doing anything, and being of insufficient means. So they weren't doing anything, and they were poor, so they got arrested. I don't know. Maybe they did some really dodgy stuff. Maybe they didn't. But there's something really interesting, and I like all of these images. And there was an interesting question that was posed at the beginning. Do these people look like shady because we know that these are mugshots? Oh, wait a minute. We'll have to put those two together. I really like this one as well. That was cool. J. Delaney and D. Buchanan. And yeah, what does it mean when we look at an image? How do we interact with it? How do we engage with it? Like, how do you have some kind of resonance or sympathize? What does an image, what does a face and a portrait evoke in you as a viewer? It's really interesting. And then if you know this kind of backstory, or just have a suspicion, like, oh, criminals, what does that mean? But then we're like, oh, this person was arrested for an unknown reason, or like, this seems pretty strange to me. And, you know, they were all just doing whatever they're doing their best to live their lives in the way that seemed best to them, I guess, or the way they were equipped to survive. J. Delaney. Yeah, I really like how that one turned out. And these two were friends who, what was the story again? What do you call it? Pantaloons. Was it pantaloons? No, petticoats and bloomers. That there was a door-to-door salesman selling large underwear, and they took him in, beat him up, and stole the underwear, and then put and then put him in a taxi and sent him to a bus stop. Get out of here! You can leave the underwear. But they were acquitted. So what does that mean? They were acquitted. So yeah, that's interesting that they were acquitted. So they weren't accused for the crime, but there was an interesting background story about large underwear. And here, I think C. Passmore, also a boss. This was my first one, and I feel like, I don't know, some of them, it's interesting looking back and be like, oh, there's some things where it really clicked and worked really well. There's something about, what was it Shannon said, that it made him look like a politician. I feel like it needs a bit more time, make him a bit more weathered, and there's this incredible gang boss vibe from the photo, and mine maybe looks like a politician, according to someone who was in Zoom. I remember who it was. Yeah, totally. All right, so that's all of the drawings that I did. I'd love to see yours. So if you have been drawing along and you're going to share your work online, use the hashtag drawingwithdylan, tag me. This is my Instagram tag, but I'm also on YouTube, of course, and on TikTok and on Facebook, and you can tag me. I'd love to see what you've done. So you can use those hashtags, drawingwithdylan and 10-minute portrait. And this is the last opportunity to put your statement in the chat that says, I'd like to win a sketch, and maybe you will. Here's me, big, and I don't know which. There are a lot of them that I like. A lot of cool things happened in the past 2 hours, and I'm really happy that you were here to share them with me. So thank you, everyone. That was great fun. I hope you've had fun too. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and get notified next time I do live streams, because I'm going to do, so every 2 Saturdays is kind of like my vision that we'll do a live stream like this. And on Thursdays, the next 3 Thursdays, there are going to be drawn together episodes. We're going to be talking to Chance McGee on Thursday, who's a caricature artist from Texas but living in Dresden. And so that's going to be really cool. I'd love you to come and join for that. And the week after that, Tyler Thrasher is going to be joining us. Tolling is going to be joining us, which is super exciting. And the week after that, Tyler Thrasher is going to be joining us. And who knows, if we have enough guests lined up, it could potentially be a weekly thing, because it's totally awesome. So much fun. The idea was to do it every 2 weeks, but maybe it's going to be weekly because there are already quite a few people lined up. So it'd be lovely to have you join on Thursdays for that. Those are 9 p.m. Thursday. And thank you for being here. I'm going to leave Zoom open a little longer so I can say goodbye. But yeah, that was it. Thank you to everyone who's entered the giveaway, and I'll let you know soon if you've won. Thank you to everyone who joined for the first time. That's so cool. Meta discourse. And yeah, thank you to everyone who joined our intimate little Zoom session, whether you were chatting a lot or whether you weren't. It was really great having you with us. See you next time. Bye-bye.